Hello and welcome to Battle True. My name is Riker, and as you can see from the WTC post, I'm still playing Orgos.
What WTC post?
Schwenky, who are you? What do you
Me?
play?
Oh, I'm Schwanky, and I'm playing Brineblood Marauders.
Oh God! And
Yes.
with us once again for the Battle True crew is
Hi, I am Erica of warmachine, tried and true, and I play Dusk, House Callus.
the second most taken faction at WTC. I don't want to hear nothing about you needing buffs anymore because the world disagrees.
I don't know.
I was surprised, but I am glad to see my spooky ghost brethren out there in the wild. So I'm excited.
I can't wait for the stats to come out. You go 5-0, and everybody else goes like 1-4. What were you gonna say, Shrinky?
Oh no!
I listened to a few other podcasts about WTC now, and everyone went, "Dusk, that's weird, right?" So,
So just as a quick disclaimer, everybody, obviously with WTC is so close, we're not going to divulge any super secret tech. I'm just going to cut that off at the head. And so if anybody had any anticipation, we are still going to talk about the event. We're going to talk about some cool things that we noticed. And we also know, as another disclaimer, that there have been a lot of podcasts that have come out that said, this is how many of this faction, this is how many of that faction. Isn't that neat? And then they just we're not just going to reiterate the same stuff. So, um, but yes, I think that with the release of the Phantasm, I think the ability to play Helith has skyrocketed, and that I feel, at least in a team environment, again, Erica, you can argue if I'm off base here, that it really opened up the competitive approach to Dusk, at least in a team format.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. I think Dusk, it's still a good army. It's not a bad army. It was never a bad army, even this year after the post January changes. I think the thing that hurts the army the most. I was talking to Steve Rabideau about this earlier this week. Is a combination of a mostly live scenario packet minus payload, and we can argue best laid plans, and a slew of defense and armor skew feats that have come out that have really that have really hurt us on this packet. However, when we talk about a team environment, I think, and I can say from playing in both solos and team events this year, I feel more confident as a Dust player in a team environment because my team can help manufacture some of those pairings that might not be great for me. We talk about tables and terrain and stuff like that. So 100%. And I would even make the same argument for Winter Core.
Yep.
It's and Brine Bloods, right? We like to make fun of them, but I think in a team environment, these armies operate very differently.
I agree.
And
Brine Bloods are
I'm
awful,
so excited to
but,
see.
So, so as a representative player of one of the two Mark IV factions that had single-digit players, it is definitely with the release of Umbrey and another brick-style caster in Aslanov. I feel like there were a lot of players that looked at Harusk and the amount of work they had to put into their 9 to 5 to win games. And they're just like, what if we just didn't have to do that? So let's just play jump to Crix or jump to Umbrey or jump to another faction that can kind of do that bricky style. And I think one of the cool things when we're talking about the team perspective, when you're talking about Dusk, you're talking about Brine Bloods to an extent, and even like the Signars, is their ability to assassinate. And when you have that like not so great matchup, you're like, hey guys, I'm just gonna tell my team ahead of time, I'm going for it. Because this is not a good matchup. I played this game 30 times. It goes to like turn 4 and all my stuff is dead. So if I see like a 40%er or 50%er, I'm probably going for it. And that's the beauty of a team tournament. Because when you're playing, because I'm playing freaking Harusk and Sabras, like none of these games are going to be over quick. I'm going to look over and see somebody done and be like, oh, this is great. We're up 1-0 or we're down 1-0, whatever. Like it's those are those things that I think are so interesting when it comes to a 5-man team format as opposed to a 3-man. Because if you go for that top 2, you may be kind of screwing over your team because now if you don't get it, 2 of your other team, everybody else needs to win. Whereas with a 5-man, like, you can kind of do those risky things, and that's what I think makes it so exciting.
It also makes you a really good grenade jumper.
Yep. So what I adore specifically about like Shadowflame and Dusk is that they can absolutely play a normal game. They don't need to telegraph anything, and then oops, you screwed up. Um, so some of the things that I saw personally that was very surprising to me in looking at the army breakdown I have in front of me is no legacy Kador.
That also blew me away.
160 players, 5th division, piloted by Corey Doyle. Props to Corey. One LVO was 5th division, just went weapon master gun line, blowing people off the table, and no one was like, you know what, I can do that. Was
I
very
mean,
surprised.
even the legacy only team
Correct.
didn't pick that one.
Very surprising.
Yeah, I was surprised too, especially with the 5th division because I think they're really, really strong. And we were talking before we started recording that especially in a team environment that's so much more spooky. But then I don't know if this is also a reflection of the newer Mark IV armies coming out. So I think we use Dark Host and the
Yep.
other old Crix theme.
Exactly. My heart point
Yeah,
exactly. That other one. I don't know.
yeah, I don't know, one of them, the Scabrous one. I don't even know which one he's in. But
Darkos.
the with Necrofactorium being out, like if I'm a Crix player, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to jump on the new
Yeah, why
Crix.
not?
Yeah.
And I don't know if we're seeing something similar with old Umbrey coming out, and you have Winter Core where your traditional Khador players have jumped. Although I would argue that old Umbrey reminds me more of Circle than Khador, but I don't know if that's a contributing factor
hmm
for those legacy armies not being
I
represented
mean,
at the
I think
WTC.
it definitely is. I mean, you're mentioning that Umbrey is Kador, but sure, like you said, I mean, if you were a Circle player, I think there is a lot for you to like in Umbrey and how they play and how they function.
Absolutely. And I think that as we saw with Canada taking 2 of them, like they are extremely viable for competitive play. I think that it is one of the only factions that had a double. Um, and just crazy the fact that you can have 4 casters out of 6 that you are cool with bringing to a steamroller like at this level. Um, Erica, one of the questions you brought up before we started recording was what do you think were the contributing factors to no US team bringing Old Umbre?
I mean, I think a lot of it was just timing, right? I mean, you're getting really close to. I mean, they had to push list lock back just so we could get the auxiliary box in. Um, I mean, that's not a lot of time to practice with what isn't a super easy army. And I mean, also if you look at it right now, I think every player but the one who wasn't allowed to brought Aslanov, who is I think probably the most straightforward warlock in the army.
Yeah. It's one of those things where I agree with you. I think it was just timing, and like you said, the fact that it's not like 1, 2, 3, like here are my buffs, apply the unit. It's like, oh well, what's my corpse economy? What's going on here? What have we really figured out what the correct number of shifted is in a pairing, and when am I sacrificing too much to have my little zoo on the side of the table? And uh, it's really interesting that with a combination of um, all of the casters that we saw, um, Reznikova, I don't think was as prevalent because of that. People didn't have enough time to. I love that from the podcast that I've listened to. There's already been conversations of like, oh well, Reznikova wasn't that big of a deal, was she? It's like,
Yes, I also
mm,
detected that, and I think they're jumping the
yep,
gun.
yep. The test games that I played with her, because I was one of the people that was thinking about like, you know what, I'm tired of playing Orgoth. I'm gonna go to this new stuff, and I was playing Reznikova like, oh, she is dirty. Oh my god. Um, but when you have a Wormwood style caster, it's exceptionally complicated, And when you have this person that you're playing with that played, 300 plus games this year, and they just look at the concepts that you're bringing, like, oh, I can pull that apart, no problem. You're like, oh, I don't have the adaptation yet to when my opponent knows what my typical game plan is. Like, how do I go that step above? And I think that's not something that is talked about enough and it's not just WTC. I'm not going to put this event on a pedestal. This is any convention level. This is any like Lock and Load, Adepticon, any of those things you go to. It's the same thing. And that's what I feel like as competitive players we're always reaching towards is in I call it a good game. So you know what I'm gonna do. I know what you're gonna do on like a bell curve. Like if my opponent doesn't stop my usual game plan, I'm probably going to win the game. And then when that opponent is a high enough skill cap where they can, or they throw some wrenches into the machine, that's when you get those good games where you have to adapt. And what I found with Old Umbrey when I was practicing is that, good gosh golly, I as a player suck at winning a game with a large battle group. I can't do it.
I Yeah, I would also see too. So this is the third Fury-based army, right, to come out in this edition. Brineblood's a little rough. Like, why don't we see 40 mil war beasts anymore, right? We don't see that with Shadow Flame Shard. We don't see it with Old Umbrey because they have the ferals as their stand-in light. Um, so you can really see the evolution and progression of these armies, of these warlock armies. I mean, you just look at all the models in Old Umbrey, like everything just synergizes with each other. And I'm gonna compare it to Dusk because that's the army I play, right? Like when I'm list building, I feel like I have to choose one of three options. Am I going to go Soulless? Am I going to go Living Ghosts of Ios? Or am I going to go Dreadguard? And that's typically like that stuff does work, but it doesn't gel like the Old Umbrey stuff does. You could literally mix and match anything from any of those boxes, and everything sings. So kudos to the dev team uh, for hitting that milestone because you definitely
I think you said the magic
you
word,
stuck the
and it's
landing.
boxes. Um, so the release, and the way that factions are released, Focus as opposed to Fury. If we look at Fury, all of the boxes with the battle group boxes have been two heavies, and I think it's because a warlock needs to get work out of its battle group to function. Um, And with that being said, when we go to the focus side, they get a heavy and a light. And that's because they don't need work out of their battle group. It's just gravy, depending on the flavor of army that they're playing. So sometimes coursers are okay. Sometimes I need a couple strikers, but I'm not looking at like, here's my Skilla, my Vipex, my Trike, here's my 50 plus points of battle group because I need Fury to function. Um, so I think that's the reason why we're not seeing as many light war beasts because they come out with the box, and the box has to have a character or it has to have a heavy to make that impact for that new player. And then when they come out with a cadre, well, I don't want to come out with a cadre and it's just a light war beast. Like that won't have a big enough splash or impact. So I'm going to throw another character or another heavy in there, and that's where you only get so many boxes as a faction in Mark IV, and when you wrap up, you're done. And that's why, like the Frozen and I'm sorry, what is our stupid box name?
Frozen and
Frozen and
forgotten.
Forgotten.
Thank you. It's
I
actually
feel
a good
frozen and
name. I'm just
forgotten.
salty. I'm sorry. Um, because it was an opportunity to get new battle group models, and they're just like, here's a lesser. Dang it. So, uh, granted, your cats are really cool, so I'm
I
happy for
had
you.
such plans for those cats, man. I'm like so disappointed that well, it sucks because I really haven't even proxied that stuff yet because
Why would you?
I'm practicing for WTC, right?
Right.
But I had such big plans for those cats, man.
Hmm. They're battle diapers.
They're battle diapers,
But
yeah.
so it's one of those things where um, once because of Mark IV and the modular nature of the Warjacks and Warbeasts, um, something like the Courser, amazing. It will always have a job. It'll always do something. Granted, it's kind of pigeonholed into one pseudo build right now with the shield guard head and the spray and the spike, but It's a very good utility piece for a lot of Storm Legion lists. We saw it all over the place with Huxley because shocking, you walk up 6, you spray 12 and repo 5. That's really good. Wow. But it's found its way into other armies as well, but again, not really spammed. Whereas Phil out of Buffalo, I was talking to him on our trip to Buffalo, which was amazing. Um, and I was like, why don't you just play Kyrax with 4 Vipexes? Because you're getting those extra attacks, you're getting a bunch of side steps. I think that's really cool. And I think that when you have something like the Trike, it, I don't want to say has invalidated a lot of innovation, but it's
It has though.
I guess it's just people. It hasn't invalidated it. It is de-incentivized it because I can just play the trike and go weeble wobble. Look at him go. Um, but long story short, I think it is because of the way that boxes are released is why we're not really seeing many true light war beasts.
Well, also on top of that, I mean, for as long as this game has existed, it's always been really hard to balance light beasts. So like you have that already, and then add to the fact that the structure of the boxes makes it even weirder to do them effectively. You know what I mean? When you look at the uh, Umbrey, it's like, well, the Pharaoh is clearly a light. Yeah, but if we can just give it slightly better stats, it makes it easier to balance. And also, Kador doesn't run lights, so let's just make that happen here too. It's a very easy description. I wouldn't be surprised if the Pharaoh wasn't always a 50.
Very similarly, like you look at the Vipex and like that thing screams like war beast. Like
Oh yeah,
it's a
100%.
little snake dude. Like look at me.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah. So what were some takeaways that you guys found from the WTC posting of the lists?
I have a favorite list.
Oh,
My favorite list is actually from that legacy team.
okay.
It is the Fiona with 3 Toros and
Good God, this is
Nozzle and
terrifying.
Aberration. I remember because like I listened to him talk about it on the Book Her broadcast. I went and looked at it and I was like, oh my god, I don't want to deal with this. This is horrifying.
This is a lot going on. So like if people have never even played against this before, like good golly, you're in for a ride. And I love that the Commodore cannon is still
Oh yeah,
terrifying. Where for a while we had to sit down and like reread all of its rules. Like, wait a minute, no, it's still really good. But it's just so many concepts going
and
on
it's
at
also
once.
built around that
Um,
insane gimmick of Aberration on her feet turn.
yeah,
Um,
you
Completely
unkillable.
unkillable. You're boosting for
Hmm.
a die.
Yeah. Um, and I mean the Shay list is just as
Hmm.
scary. If people have never played against Shay before, like, hey, I'm at the middle of the table, turn 1, go. I don't know.
Mhm.
But yeah, a lot of really cool stuff going on there. And I think people have forgotten how efficient a Toro is for 10 points. Uh, really dirty.
Yeah, I mean that Jack
Correct.
has always been frightening.
Well, there's a reason you couldn't find them,
Hmm.
right?
But yeah, no, I agree. It was definitely a spooky pairing to look at. Um, the thing that another thing that I noticed was very shocking, based on it winning last year and not getting nerfed, um, is only 8 Infernals players.
So that, I mean, Infernals is still really hard to get. I see it come up for sale in the buy and sell groups, and it's always very expensive. So if you want to play Infernals, you have to spend quite a bit of money to do it, because that's still the only way you can get it. And Cephalix is coming up a little bit because they're just now a lot easier to get.
Well, yeah, it's the
Yeah,
exact opposite. They're the
yeah.
easiest to get because like everyone and their mother has the STLs. And we thought that there was going to be at least a couple Dark Operations players, but 6 was pretty terrifying.
Kaito's
Mhm.
Siphon is the favorite.
Yeah, I
And I think
believe so.
everyone's taking Kythos
Um,
as one of the casters in their pairing, right? Is that
yeah, which I think makes sense. I think Texas lost a lot of
okay?
umph with the loss of the artillery pieces because it used to kind of be feet, move everything to where I can see whatever I want, crippling grasp a target, and just
I mean,
shoot it down
Texas
turn by
still
turn.
has a very, very scary trick. It's just kind of the one trick
I
now.
liked what people were doing last year with it, with his
Oop,
feet and spike traps, where they would
you're
just
dead.
pull your
Moving
stuff
on.
into spike traps and kill your. It's really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be
But yeah, so I was very surprised at the
right.
overall lack of infernals, but with you saying that, I think I would agree. It might just be an availability thing. Um, Plus the reps that you would need to, like once you got the army to actually get good with it. Um, and based on win rates alone, the thing that I think I was shocked about. Granted, I think Welsh Masters and War Manchester have started to change people's opinions on Gravediggers, them being a 16 player pool. Um, again, effectively, not effectively, half of the teams have a Gravediggers player, um, which I thought was very interesting because they were like sub 40 win percent. Um,
I think, yeah, I think that makes sense. Given now that they've been released and we're a few, several months ahead from when the boxes first came out. So, I mean, I would argue that Gravediggers is probably one of the hardest, if not the hardest, of the Mark IV armies to play effectively. So that skill ceiling is so high. Well, now these models have uh, been with these players for this time. They're only going to get better, right? Like if you stick with it, you don't get frustrated and jump off. So, yeah, I think the chickens are coming to roost. Like it's a very strong army.
um, and good golly, if you don't have a plan for Huxley, I don't know what to tell you, boss, because that's half the teams as well. It's just Huxley plus caster.
Usually Calder.
And yeah, I think it's a very polarizing playstyle. Um, and if you don't got practice into it, golly, um, yeah, yeah. Uh, Something that I didn't think I would say is that there are more armies of the Western Reaches than Exalted.
One team
One
has
team
two.
has two, and we definitely sat down as a team and was like, "All right, we are going to review everything they do and then talk about it because we don't want to get got by some weirdo playing uh, some Ferox that are going to kill us from downtown." Um, but yeah, so it's something that I was a little surprised about just because I know the Europeans love Rhett so much. But again, I feel like a lot of my surprises are all the same answer, where it's just they have Mark IV armies now, so why play it? Um, and yeah, so overall, I was thinking that maybe we could talk about some of our favorite lists. Schwenke has
Yeah.
provided his Legacy Austria. Erica, do you happen to have any favorite lists?
So I'm gonna have to go back to my roots a bit, pulling our solo Grimkin
I
player
thought
out
so.
there,
Yep.
who's rocking Wander and Old Witch. I think Wander might be catching some strays a little bit. There's a lot of carnage up
Mhm.
out here in this Mark IV game right now. But I really like the Old Witch list because he's running it with Nastilla Aberration,
Yeah.
which I think is can be kind of spicy because Old Witch has Hellhole. So between Revive and Hellhole, you can bring back a lot of models every turn.
So you're starting to do the math. You just said a
Yeah, I'm
lot.
just like, yeah, that's a lot because with her feet, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, so that's, I mean, the only thing you're missing, right, is the sisters. Although I really wish the Twilight Sisters were solely. I think they're too expensive for what they
Yeah.
do to be a unit. I think they would benefit a bit from the Malady Man treatment, where they don't have to stay 2 inches from each other.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think that's cool. I like what he's got going on. That and Shadowbind on top of Scourge, like knocking stuff down and shadowbinding it. That's woof.
That's a lot. It's a big
That's
sentence.
a lot. Yeah. Oh, and blind. Sorry, she
Yeah,
also
Hey,
just
has
we
a
blind.
blind
casual.
gun
No big
too.
deal.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So this list is it's spooky and it also has madcaps. Again, the aberration is alive, so it's going to benefit from the stumbling drunk rule when you come in
Oh
to engage
God.
it. So y'all have fun with that. Y'all have fun and noodle on that for a bit.
Ew.
I see you. I see what you're doing, and I like it.
I'll
I'm
be
all about
interested to
it.
see how they do.
So
You know, I think a lot of people dropped them out of
Yeah.
hand just because of the beating they took in January. For good reason. Like everything that happened to him
Yeah.
is
The desert
terrifying.
base trip was
Desert
huge.
base, it was a big deal. Windstorm was a big deal. So it'll be cool to see if they can
Mm-hmm.
handle themselves in a team environment.
yeah, I was talking to Steve again earlier this week about it. And I think Grimkin in general, they were never very strong into gun lines. Sure, you had
Yeah.
Shroud, but there's so much guidance and just true sight out there, especially with this new. I think, and then with the Windstorm nerf, like so for me, I'm looking at after WTC, going back to Grimkin for a little bit, and these are the
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Grumbly
these are
bumbly.
the thoughts that I have. It's like, okay, well, how do I survive gun lines? With with these changes and just the
Yeah.
tools that are sitting out there. But yeah,
Kravitz. As many Kravitz you can cram into the list.
Um.
yeah.
Didn't
Cram
like
the
that.
Kravitz.
Mm.
So on Australia Kookaburras, we have one J of the business, and my favorite list is let's hope the last minute changes to Shyrus aren't too dumb. So, uh, in a very typical me fashion, as Shrinky has experienced multiple times, I will go to multiple steamrollers with a pairing, making little minor changes, and then when it comes time to going to a major event, I'm going to be like, what if I make this knee jerk decision and do something different? And then it doesn't work, and I go, what happened?
Weird.
And weird. And so that's what Jay's done. Good thing that he waited until WTC to do this. So I just got to drag him over the coals. So yeah, he's got Shyrus. He's
Mhm.
got Skilla. Pretty typical start. Trike. I would agree. Another typical start. Vipex and Hunter's Mark. Wow, never saw this before. Pythia. Yep. Paragon. Double Death Dealers. Double Ashers. Okay, you got me back. And then Shadowmancers. And I looked at him and said, "What did looking across his pairing, he has no knights." And I said, I can help you if you want if you need to borrow a unit of cav." He said, "Nope." And I went, "Oh, he must have gotten the first wave of them,
He's
so they're
embarrassed.
tiny, so he's lost them." Yeah, he's
He's
just
just a little
embarrassed. That's all. I was
guy.
like, "Nope, I got the last wave."
Just a little guy.
Exactly, just a little guy. And he said, "Nope, he made this of his own free will." And I went, "All right, buddy." And I shifted him to a green.
Oh no.
So I hope that we get each other round one, and they can do their little pairing process. I don't care because Jay and I are playing, and it's gonna be great. Um, but yeah, that was my favorite list of the event. So, um, great. So, overall, I think that this field is obviously terrifying. And one of the concepts that we've been like talking about, I wouldn't say really struggling with, but it's like how do you effectively prepare for such a huge field? Because at the end of the day, there's 160 players, and you're only going to play 5 of them, and it's very difficult to like pull your hair out over like, oh, but what if they zigzag zig when I'm supposed to zag zig, like what happens then? You're like, I don't, I mean, we kind of have a plan, like there's only so much theorizing that you can do. And Erica, one of those points that you brought up was like, we don't even know what the table looks like in our hypothetical example. Like, this isn't a type of game where you have like set terrain, where it's just this is table 1-7 or whatever. And I could throw it on War Table and I can practice and be like, okay, these are the things that I'm worried about, but I can do this and that. Like it's, oh nope, there's a building in the middle. This screws everything up. So overall, Shrinky, you are flying to WTC in a week. List lock was what, a week ago, something like that. How are you
At this
preparing?
point, a week out.
Let's say like after list lock,
Well, I
and
mean,
then
at
up
this
to
point,
now.
you're gonna sit down with your team. You're gonna make out your little matrices. Huh? Yeah, that's what I
You're gonna
said.
make out with your
I mean,
team.
I make out with my team member.
Look, you have to get
True,
that solid
that's true.
bond with your teammates.
With
Yeah.
Well, I mean, at this point, and I think people that I've been talking to, and yeah, I mean, this is when you start reaching out to people that play armies of lists that scare you, and say, "Hey, come here, and play this. I want to see, what this does here." Yeah, I know. I
That's why I
understand.
haven't contacted you, Frankie.
I mean, also there's 7 Kador
Got
players.
him. There's so many.
Makes me sad.
It's okay. Jamie's at the helm, and January can't come soon enough.
So I just talked to other players. It's like, I'll get back to you after after a list lock. So there are specific lists, and I saw a list lock, and I was like, oh no. I'm like, you don't need Kador practice. Like, I do not. I'm like, yeah, I didn't think so.
I mean, we
Yes.
play it every freaking Steamroller anyways, so it's not like I don't get games in. But
I
anyway.
mean, I think now is when you do your precision practice, where you take specific things that concern you, confer with your team, try and figure out what confuses you and what doesn't.
I think all in all, on a year-by-year basis nowadays, we actually had a U.S. team meeting that Erica organized, and it was wonderful. And one of the slides was Legacy BS. What's going on here? What are they doing? And it's just kind of like the odds are in your local meta. Maybe you don't have a Ravens of War player. Like, do you know what's going on with this? Do you know that they can just like armor swing and feet and rip you off the board? Like,
Yeah.
no. Now you do. So play differently. And it's just maybe that matchup isn't as good as you thought it was.
Do you remember what Krios 2 does?
He has a feat every
Correct.
turn, you guys. Watch out.
He sure does.
And it's one of those things where it's like I'm playing like a brick style. So if I don't know how you attack my brick and what synergies that you're using to exploit my low defense, then I might crumble. So like I went to Portal and I played Rose with Krios too. And I was like, oh, I'm just gonna shoot. He's like, okay. Or she's like, okay. Uh, Krios's Jack, what's it called, Scourge of Heresy?
Yeah.
Or yeah, gets to Righteous Vengeance. And I was like, oh no, I'm in threat now. That thing has signs of importance. My girl gas is dead. This sucks. Oh god. So it's those little interactions that like if you don't know going into it, the game could just be over.
Oh yeah. I mean, and it's like it's just something that I mean, especially with Krios, because a couple years, year or two ago now, I remember playing against Rose with Krios, and she's like, "Hey, I'm kind of coming into the game. I'm fairly new." We're like, "All right, cool. So we'll just run through some stuff." And then like Sacrosanct, and I'm playing Brineblood, so I'm just like, "Oh,
Everything's dead.
oh, this isn't a teaching game anymore. I'm very
Nope.
sorry, but I have to. I'm gonna lose."
Yeah. And it's one of those things where like you can kind of tell at least glean a little bit of information from what people are racking, and they're just like, I'm playing this caster. This is my 6 spell list. It's like, oh, what are they doing? Okay, cool. And that is not the time to be reading cards and learning stuff. So everyone who is traveling, you have like a week or whatever. Get that war room out, open those lists, and just read everything. Got nothing but time. But yeah, so overall, super excited for the event. We got all of us got our jerseys in. Eric, Erica has the
Oh
tummy
yeah, the
bunny.
tummy. We have our tummy bunny salute too. So across the hall, we rub our tummies with a little rabbit ears and
And all this stuff came in, and it definitely it's finally starting to hit that this is real, this is happening, and like it's the train is leaving the station. And so really excited, super happy, all the people involved, and I think um at least from my previous experience, uh, I feel like the vibe of the teams is just fantastic, immaculate. I think everybody really enjoys their teammates, and we're all getting along through the practice, and it's just I'm really excited to see how it shakes out. Um, but yeah, so we have talked about a big old event. Um, what are your guys' plans for the rest of the year after this?
Well, I'm
Mhm.
not going to WTC,
Yep.
so I'm just gonna play Brinebloods and have a grand old time.
What made you make that change?
Um, I mean, I'm not going to lock and load. I'm not going to WTC. My competitive year is essentially over,
Mhm.
and Winter Core is boring me.
Oh, was there anything in particular, like a caster or like a group of models that really shifted and made you excited to play them?
Honestly, the biggest thing that made me excited to play Brinebloods was watching Andy play.
Ooh!
oh,
Just kind of like seeing some of the innovation that he's brought into the army, and like he's like the only dude in this country that's playing the army competitively right now. So it's just cool to see something different. Something that's not just like, here's a pile of marauders. Let's see if you can deal with it. And then the answer is yes, and so you're sad now.
Yep.
Just seeing different ideas, different techniques, like some of the European lists kind of making it over this way. That was the one thing that surprised me, is how many quad marauder lists there are in the European lists. When I was like, "What? I thought you were the guys that stopped doing this, and
I
that's
think
why you're
it is
playing it."
another feather in the cap of the team environment where
Yeah,
like
that's fair.
now you can kind of abuse that level of not spam, but like that level of bodies
Yeah,
when you can control the matchups.
you just shift away from stuff that can deal with it, because if you can't deal with that many marauders, four quartermaster units when one turns into sixes are terrifying.
I mean, you don't have to you don't have to pray the gospel to me about Ragemonger.
Oh,
I
I know.
wrote the book. I'm wearing the Prime Blood shirt right now. Like, if there was any excuse for me to play Ragemonger, I would take it. But
Yeah,
it's
that getting to play Ragemonger again, very very exciting.
he's such a cool caster.
Such a cool
Why is he
caster.
Rack 3?
I don't
just
know. I'm not
you
mad
ask
about it.
Andy because he doesn't have a spell list. That's why he's rack 3.
He's got one spell.
Those 3 spells that he gets to pick is a pretty good spell list, all right?
Plus, sometimes you take tantrum if you're completely safe.
Yeah, uh-huh. Um, but yeah, so a lot of exciting things. So when you walked away from them, this was before the Foul Blood cadre, correct?
hmm
So are you excited to play the Lucky Bash Bros?
Yeah, I think what they do is interesting and cool. Um, the cadre really was kind of the final nail in the Brian Blood coffin for me, because I looked at it and I was like, this isn't exciting.
You're like, you know what? You know what? I'm gonna go play anything
Yeah. It just seemed like more of the same. And in a lot of respects, I was right. Like it is,
else.
but like Foul Blood is really cool. Chum is really cool. Um, I think that's like the one thing that I still don't agree with Andy on in Brian Blood. He doesn't like Chum. I love Chum. I think Chum's really cool. I'm gonna try it out. We'll see what happens in 3 months. Maybe be like, nah, he was right. But for
So
right now,
I love that like you messaged me one night and you were just like, Chum is just a pile of rules. He's
yes.
just how is this bad? There's gotta be
Like
something there.
I can see why people don't like him. because stumbling drunk on a heavy can be a huge detriment. But like I remember playing into Rock in Mark III and it pulling my hair out trying to deal with this heavy. And I was just like, what? But if you can mitigate that, if you can mitigate the downsides, it's great. And like sure, fortify, it turns that off, it increases his armor. Not enough though, so he still maybe dies. But if you take him with Rangemonger, and now he's armor 23, I feel a lot better about this.
That's a big number.
Um,
So I think again it boils down to he's not going to make it in all lists.
No.
And it may end up just being just Ragemonger, and that's okay. It's just unfortunate because he is taking the spot of a heavy or even great old one that could have a gun.
Yes.
So like when your opponent is being super cautious and you can't just like flip the switch and say, we're going for a feat with a ranged alpha this game and seeing what happens. But that being said, I do think that when you thread the needle on getting practice with him, I think that he is going to cause a lot of issues for your opponent.
The other thing is, especially since like we are collecting Fury armies, so every new army that comes out now,
Right.
Foul Stench starts paying more and more dividends, and the Ragemonger Beast brick is even more concerning if I'm taking away an attack from everything that comes into it.
It's fine. Come January, you'll get the Skyladder back on the Battle Brig, and you're just going to go back to Quad Marauders. It's fine.
Don't give me hope.
Yeah. Matt talked about Brinebloods. It's how you summon Andy from the ether.
Yep,
It's true.
It's
Yep,
from
I
the
get it.
deep.
She turned around. She was like, "You should be in here." And I was like, I was like, "All right, it's you can't start a podcast at 3:30 in the afternoon on a work day. I don't know how you guys pull this off."
I just don't work Friday.
I don't work Friday.
I don't know when I'm
Okay.
getting a paycheck again.
There it is. Easy peasy. So yeah, we were just talking about how awesome Chum is. Your favorite war beast in the game.
Look, I swallowed my pride and started playing Great Old One already. I can't do both.
I'm doing both.
There's a bunch of lists in WTC that are playing both.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is why that is where I did it. Like a lot of what I was talking to Riker, what I've been doing a lot of lately is like looking at Brineblood lists I enjoy from WTC, and then going in and pulling out the stuff that's only there because it's a team event, and then putting in better things.
Yeah. But yeah, so we were just talking about like what was exciting about the faction that made him want to go back, and and he said you.
Aw.
Sweet.
Sure, I did. It's just cool. Like watching your list and watching you play, and just kind of seeing different things, some innovation in the faction that I think was really lacking for a long time in the U.S., which is I think the main reason why we don't win anything.
I really like my current Ragemonger list. It's
really cool.
It's just a good combination of things. It's not leaning any one way. It's not the quad quartermaster. It's not the I have
Right.
nothing but armor 24 beasts. It kind of has a balance, which I really enjoy. Foulblood is getting put down as soon as I'm allowed to put him down. He's so boring to play.
So that the frog may rise again.
Yes. Bibbidi bops. It's time for bibbidi bops.
Exactly. So I'm super curious how I know that we've talked about the January update a couple times, but like I'm super curious about how Steamroller looks come next year. I know that SFG, at least from what I've read, is a huge fan of secondary objectives, and I know that there's been kind of a debate in the community about how much we really enjoy or don't enjoy moving objectives. Um, and I'm just super curious what their take on this Steamroller, as this will be the first one that they kind of have full control over.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I would assume it's going to be similar as last year. Like they'll keep 3. They'll keep 3 that they like, and they'll innovate with the other 3 and do some kooky stuff.
I mean, there are 3 acceptable scenarios right now.
That's what I mean. Like there's 3 that I can think of them keeping, right? Like the one thing is they kept wolves last year, so they may push wolves out this year if they don't want to keep it 2 years in a row. and that's
Sure.
one of the ones that I find acceptable.
No, I agree. And I also think the other question is, because like with the last update last year, they decided to remove the classic token dead scenario. I mean, sure, you can make the argument that there is more dead scenarios now, but I feel like those are accidental. Recon, Riker. I mean, Recon.
Yeah,
No, I'm just counting.
Recon was
No big deal.
very dead on purpose. Payload it feels very dead on purpose, but no one ever actually plays the actual scenario, so maybe it's
Yeah, so I mean, like, I
unintentional.
feel like it's not supposed to be dead. Like, they want you to just be pushing those things and trying to do stuff, but there's no reason to, so it's a dead scenario. But
There's only ever 4 things to score on the entire board. That's
Yeah.
just
And one of
dead.
those things
Like, no matter
explodes
how
sometimes, so it's just like
That is
you're.
true.
and then there's 3
Yeah.
things to score.
I don't know. The payload, the concept is cute and cool or whatever. I just feel like the execution is just can we just move on from payload at this point?
I don't know if I'm in the minority, but I have a lot of fun with best laid plans. I'll be honest. I think best laid plans is silly, and
I would feel a lot better if it was 1, 2, 3 the caches go, 4, 5, 6 the 40s go.
Oh, the 50s are always there.
And they're just always, so at least you're fighting over the middle of the table.
Yeah. When it's the 40s, it's so weird. When it's just like everybody's army goes to like a fifth of the board.
Yeah. I mean, the only problem is if you do that is I think with 250s in the middle, it ends up being fairly similar to wolves, just without the weird wolf stuff.
Yep, I would agree. My problem is that there are just armies in the game that can't function if the 50s go away.
Yeah, that's
They
obviously
say,
a problem.
okay, I'm just gonna forget about the cache. If you score it, you score it, and I'm just gonna just dump everything into the 40s.
I just played against a Mortnebra Jack Brick, and the 50s went away, and I immediately was just like, I'm so sorry. Like,
Yeah, the game is
you
just
have
over.
6 jacks and nothing else.
But color guard is the other scenario that is dead. If people are keeping track of the 3 that are not okay, because again, the game could just be over.
I think color guard's salvageable. I think they know what needs to happen for it. And I think they'll probably keep it in some aspect, and just massage it a little bit so that it's not overtly broken like it is right now.
I would agree. You can make that work.
Yeah.
And it is a cool concept. Like, if you do it right, it does make for an interesting game.
I really like the little hopping, and you have to predict in the next turn, and you have to contest things that aren't scenarios yet. Like, that's a cool little mind game. I like that. It's a little bit too silly right now, where it's like, if I'm first player and I do it right, I just can be like, all right, I score 4 with just flags this turn. Sorry.
Yep. But yeah, so a lot of interesting things. And Andy, do you have a favorite list from the WTC list lock?
Oh man. Let's see. There's so many weird ones that I'm like not used to seeing.
Yes.
Come back to me. You could go to somebody else first, unless you've done this already.
We've done this.
Oh, okay. Damn it. Now I'm on the spot again.
Yes, sir. We're back to Andy. All right.
Just from sheer like gumption, someone is playing a really interesting Bugatti bomb list that I don't think is good.
Yeah.
But I honor the effort.
Is this the Bugatti bomb Firequill player?
Yeah, he's the only one playing either one of those casters.
Let's go.
Now, Firequill, I think, can make a pairing, especially in a team format where it's like you can just say, I'm going to nail this guy to the wall. He doesn't like guns. I'm going to shoot his list off the table or his caster off the table. Like in a team format, Firequill can work that way. Bugatti bomb is just, I don't know what he does. Like, as somebody who loves playing him, I'm like, in a competitive setting against a smart player.
He's good in the cricks.
He's all right.
I think he's neat.
Has he not died at anything in melee that Crix brings?
He dances with his sticks.
Oh, okay, that's true.
You're not. I mean, just. I think I'm gonna agree with Erica. And I say I think he's neat.
I would expect him to get some small tweaks in January. I'm hoping for some cool stuff.
every time I played against Firequill, because I do have a local that Pete that plays Firequill. I'm like, okay, it's Firequill, and I'm not like rolling my eyes or scoffing, but like every game, it's like, okay, I feel pretty good. Half of my army is dead. Oh god, just every time.
I mean, he got better guns to play with.
Yeah.
So like it's
he's got one trick. He does that trick, and hopefully he wins the game off that trick.
He is a one-man skew.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And that is Choo Choo Hien. With it looks like the Netherlands. I'm not gonna try it. Panakokic is the Chad playing Firequill back at a bomb. So we got a little release a while ago by the name of Captain Casimir Morozov. Erica, you want to talk about this guy?
Oh, is it the Badger Man?
It's Badger Man.
Badger Man. All right, this guy's a bit of a meme to me, and this comes from a place of love, right? I'm not throwing shade, but like the ongoing jokes this year is, oh, here we go, another +3 armor caster. Oh, just give him Carnage. Like that's kind of been the joke, and then they release a caster that has Carnage and a +3 armor feat.
What if they also got +3 on damage?
Oh, does he do that too?
He sure does.
On all of the shifted models.
Now you just call him a rule caster. Just call him Osram at that point.
Yep, that is correct.
What is dear Badger Man?
Yes.
I mean, I think he has a really hard time using the offensive part of his feat.
Why is that?
Well, if he procs it to like make dudes, like the bears only threaten what, like 9 inches?
That is true.
So yeah, maybe you can get a lupine or two in, but like your bears aren't really getting there. Like it's tough to. They do get there's bloodthirst that they can get, so they could threaten 11, I guess.
Yeah, if only the Lupine Apex wasn't power 20 killing spree on its blade.
They're so good.
God, dang it.
My Marauders are quaking in their boots over here, just going like, please let us tough and make him have to use the second initial.
What aren't Marauders quaking in their boots from?
The one thing that's funny to me, and this might be me aging myself a little bit, but OG Chromac from Mark 1 had this problem where Chromac the man was on a 40 and his beast out form was on a 50 mil, and if you couldn't place him, he just dies. And this guy suffers from the similar issue where if you can't,
he's 30 to 50.
Oh, worse. He is oh wow, yeah, he's a 30 to 50.
He's a little guy.
Yeah, you gotta make room for that Badger.
We were talking about Marauders. You know, you surround a dude with Marauders so he can't change. Now the caster's like, I guess I'm dead now.
Did they roll if things like Entropic stop him from, because he can't remove damage?
I believe they ruled that is true, because it's Grievous as well. Like if you Grievous him, he transfers all effects over to his second form. So if he's Grievous in his first form, I don't think he can.
Then
remove
he
damage.
can't. Then he turns into a Badger and dies. I don't even know if he turns into a Badger, but like he just dies when he shifts.
It's a bear.
It's a bear. Thank you, Riker.
It's a Badger bear. It's fine.
Badger bear.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, because his shifting is weird.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone else dumps effects. He doesn't.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Yeah.
He's the same.
So the thing that kind of blew me away is the fact that he doesn't follow normal Chromac rules. So like
where he loses half of his rules,
and he's just like Carnage. He's like, whoa! You're an animal.
I guess he can't. He can't shift when he dies anyway, right? They already ruled that. He just shifts when he takes damage.
Yep. So if you kill, if you get low, you gotta play like a mind game with your opponent if they want to shift early or risk just dying.
Oh, so he can't go to like 0 health and then come back.
Yeah.
As a bear.
So
okay.
like he could go to 2 health and shift, and that's fine, but he can't go to 0 health and shift.
Yeah, with his.
Which is the exact opposite of how the other shifted works, which makes it very confusing.
Yes, it does. Because
I don't know why we got Carnage on control range 14 and 16 casters. Like, what are we doing?
I think the insane part is that he has Mega Avenging Force, with all of his beasts having
Yeah.
Righteous Vengeance?
Everyone.
People are going to get got by his stupid, like, combo smite follow-up nonsense. Where he's like, hey, I'm just power 19 out of nowhere. Hello.
Also, I'm way over here now.
Insane. Yep.
Yeet
But he's
off.
only match 7, so like of course he'll never mind. Yeah. So he's got a lot of things going on. I think we would have seen him if people had the ability to get him. I think he plays a very interesting list where again, it's a little strange because it's going to be a bunch of shifted. So in that case, like you're going to have a bunch of little dudes.
Yeah, I was going to say, does he even want to spend the points on the Cav to shift them?
Right.
Because they're much more expensive per model.
There's so many lists that we've already seen that work well, like Aslanov with double Cav. Is he just going to be the I don't bring Cav list in the pairing to kind of screw with your matchups? Where, like, here's 30 dudes. Have fun.
I mean, you still need something to score the 40s with,
can.
but
those are the 30 dudes that he's bringing.
Oh, for sure. But like if all of the Umbrey dudes that aren't Cav die like Marauders do,
they hide in the trees.
Well, sure. I mean, there's ways around it, but like that's not always there. It's
yeah. When there's 5 or 6 guys, it's generally you're going to kill most of it, and maybe there's like 2 dudes left, and that's the unit he sends back to go
It's the
score.
Shadowmancer thing.
It's like, oh, cool. We got a couple dudes back here.
Yeah.
What I'm super curious about is what his battle group ends up being. Just because you don't need to go like the Starved route. You don't need to go Strix route, although Strix with Forced Evo seems...
Oh, and Righteous Vengeance, right? Cohort models in his battle group. So now
I was going to say Forced Evolution on Strix.
Out of activation move.
Yeah. And again, because he's bringing 30 dudes, likely that one of them will die. And then 3 beasts get to move an extra 3 inches just casually. I think he's super interesting.
I mean, because you also have that because maybe you forego some of the support, maybe you forego some
Corpse
of the
the
corpse economy, but then again, like your main corpse economy guy is also your divine inspiration guy, so maybe he
also invoke
they come anyway.
Yeah, why not take them?
Yeah.
Like now we get into really cool stuff where like maybe he just brings 3 Sword and Board Primevals because the shield has curse shifted.
Yeah. No, they're at
just casual.
12.
He is like layers the dude. Where it just seems like this faction is look at all of these defensive and offensive layers, which I think for an army that is very scared of guns is awesome. Because I want to see that, like that. I'm gonna be spinning my fists in the air, and if I hit you in the face, you deserve it. But if you shoot my hand off, I'm gonna get you next time. And exactly.
Can I like Popeye?
And because his feat is so specific, I feel like it's gonna be a fun balancing act of like, I have 4 shifted that are ready to go. Is this enough for the feat to matter? The answer is probably yes, but we'll see. Also, just having Carnage and Curse on a Mat 7 caster is pretty good. It's pretty, he will just kill a heavy, no problem. On that feat turn. So.
What
Yeah, I thought the Mat and Rat numbers got silly under Reznikova.
What is the rule for shifting
even easier
from a
on this
model
one?
that was just revived? Do you still sacrifice everything?
Yes. Because it was whatever the stipulations are on the model that shifted, I believe, carry over. But if I'm wrong, let us know in the comments.
There's no comments.
And you're talking about models that died.
I believe that
was
ruled on.
Shift.
Yeah. I don't remember
in the
exactly.
game previously.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right, I'm just thinking about because thinking like the main issue with him is you can't double activate, so you don't get to have crazy threat ranges, and the bears have bad threat ranges in general. But if you can get a couple of revives in there, and those model units haven't activated yet, can you shift off of a revived unactivated model and get your activation back?
Yeah. Here you go. I got it. When a shapeshifter model replaces a model that entered play this turn, that would be a revived model.
That is exceptionally important to know.
Or that already activated this turn. It must forfeit its normal movement and combat action, so it can't do anything.
I think they ruled that really early because people were playing like Alzanov and getting wolves into Caster's deployment line
he's got
on
revive,
like turns. Yeah. And then he would just full send a wolf and it would kill your caster.
Reminds me of like
nothing
the
you could do
McKay
about
days
it.
where everybody pulled their hair out, showing like, "Hey, no, there's a top of one assassination. Don't allow this." Like,
my first top one assassination, Vlad 2.
So it's a lot of interesting things. A really cool caster. I think that when he becomes available, he will see play. Just because a lot of people are super stoked about the shifted to begin with, and then to run them at that efficiency is really unique and cool. So, how has your guys' experience into Old Umbrey been so far?
I was fine until the bear box came out.
Limited, but yeah, I mean, I didn't find them problematic until the bears became a thing. The bears have really changed the matchup a lot.
I shoot them. I fill them full of bullets. They don't like that.
They do not. Can confirm.
I can't count on two hands so far how many starved I've killed just from like power 14 gunshots because it doesn't like those very much. Its armor does not go up from 18. It's just kind of.
We were talking earlier, and Riker kind of alluded to it. Like, this army does not want to get shot at. Like, sure, you have goats and bears and stuff, but like they don't want to rack Windstorm at all. Like,
if you do, if they have to, I mean, that's fantastic.
Yeah, that's really good for you as the opposing player.
It's got to be real tough being spell wreck too.
Oh, darn!
Oh man!
Look at all these cool animus. Aw.
And I have to take Windstorm. Oh, I've never been in that chair before. Oh. But yeah, it's for the same reason, because honestly, at the end of the day, Umbrey has a lot of similar numbers to Orgoth, and some of their numbers are better. But like, it's one of those things where they still don't like guns, so it's puts them in a very precarious situation depending on the scenario.
Their quantities tend to be lower though. Like Orgoth can hit numbers of heavy infantry that Old Umbrey can't hit. Really?
Have you seen Aslanov bears? I don't want to hear it.
There's only 6 of them.
Yeah, with like 4 initials. Like, what the heck? 10 points.
Boy, are they hard to kill.
So cheap, these bears.
So cheap. Yeah, I would love to threat that far, and they don't threat that far.
I know they don't threat that far.
And then Aslanov beats. Oh boy.
Now they threat kind of far.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where I think they are a very interesting section of the game design wise, and in the more I play against them, good golly, is it just more times than not a nightmare. It will be like I am sweating profusely, and I'm like, "What happened? I won." But the entire time, and I think it's because, like we talked about earlier, it's the closest we've ever gotten to Circle, where they come up, they can set up really nasty trades in their favor, and then just get that snowball rolling and keep the pressure on. Everything threats relatively far, and at the end of the day, if you screw up, they will just kill you. So
there's also a lot of times where I've been playing games where, and this is going to be a time and experience thing, where I'm going through my turn and I'm working on a unit, and I use my last attack to kill a model in a unit, and I'm just going, I hope they don't turn it into a werewolf, because that would ruin everything. Oh, good, they didn't. All right, cool. Moving on. But like,
I'm always in the exact opposite situation where I'm like, I'm bringing more attacks than I think I should need, and I'm like, please make a thing, please make a thing, please make a thing.
But once people,
and then when they don't, I get disappointed.
Once they start making things, I'd rather they didn't. it's going to start getting tricky fast.
So it's kind of that loaded gun thing where like they have all these resources at the start of the game, but once they start using them, their opportunities to use them obviously reduce too. So it's like one of those things where, yeah, it would be really spooky if you made a werewolf here. What happens if he just kills my heavy and now he pops out some bears and I have a tough time killing that stat profile unless I don't have my heavy hitter anymore. And so it's that kind of like late game, oh man, I really gotta like I have 4 attacks. So that was one of my favorite games. I played a practice game against Mark out of Canada, and we were playing on 2 fronts. And very similar situation with like Hazaroth with Invocations. Same thing with Shapeshifters, where like he's going through his turn, and I'm like, "All right, good game." He's like, "What do you mean? You physically do not have enough attacks to clear off this objective anymore. The game's over." And I kind of did that in my practice games with Umbrey, where it's like I'm going to put these 4 hunters on your flag, and I know that you only have 4 attacks. So none of them are AoEs. It's done. And
Yeah,
that's
it's kind of a similar thing with the pygmy trolls,
yeah.
where it's like if you have like the bears don't have trample, like they're just gonna have to sit there and fight a 6-point unit of annoying guys with 1 entry, and the bears all have 1 inch reach.
Oh
So it's
hey,
like,
here I made my 3rd tough check. Keep going. You're like,
yeah.
Oh boy. Speaking of pygmy trolls, let me tell you, coming back to those guys after a year is like doing drugs.
Oh, it's like candy, man. It's like popping M&Ms. Oh, every single time.
Yep.
Ooh, are we playing wolves?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and
Don't
then
talk to me
they'll
about
kill
wolves.
3 of them, and 2 of them are still alive, and I'm like, oh, it's like Christmas morning. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna walk at you, and I'm gonna give you a little hug, and we're gonna do it all over again.
Are you gonna throw your bombs? I am not.
Nope.
Unless there is a circumstance where it's like I want to walk, and do you care about auto hitting power 8s? Because I'm not gonna hit you
unless you shoot me for some dumb reason.
They are by far my favorite unit. They are absurd.
Oh, they're delightful.
I would agree.
For
anyway,
me.
Get rid of wolves. Get it out of here. It's a lot of really cool things going on. I think my experiences with Umbrey is I have yet to have a game where I was just like, I did nothing. It's awesome in design wise, where it's typically like a trade back and forth, very similar to Circle without the control factors outside of Resnikova. Aslanov feat is backbreaking. Don't get me wrong, but like once it's done, it's done. And we kind of go back to this normal you threat, I threat, we're trading, and a lot of fun stuff. But
well, it's also cool. Like, I mean, I had a game against Jesse in Connecticut where, like, I felt, I was like, okay, I'm in a very good place. I'm kind of dominating this game. I think I'm going to be okay. And then he's like, all right, cool. My cashier's going to throw a bird at that mana warrior standing behind. Uh-oh!
Uh-oh!
Oh!
Yeah, surprise Bodani.
Nobody picks Bodani. But yeah, so it's just a lot of exciting stuff that is very unique, and I am super excited to see whatever else they get, because obviously they're not fully released yet, and
Can't wait for
especially
that big wolf thing.
with Lock and Load around the corner, I'm sure we're gonna see something.
They're 80.
And yeah, so yeah, a lot of fun stuff, a lot of exciting stuff. The other thing that has been terrorizing the tables, maybe not terrorizing, but curious about your opinions on the Hellraker. What do you think?
I hate it.
Okay.
I hate it. I can't kill it.
All right.
I don't know what to put into it.
Claw.
I can't put a beast into it.
How? Yeah.
I can't put infantry into it because they all died of power 14s because it's got fucking Silent Touch on it. So I'm like,
so
how do I kill it?
This is definitely something in Mark IV that I will say that I'm getting a little tired of with the release of Old Umbrey. Every new army is just all Pathfinder all the time. It's getting kind of old. I kind of want terrain to matter. Just because like Andy and I are playing armies that just it doesn't exist.
Oh, terrain matters for us.
Yeah, it just I got that one card, and if I could take 5 careful recons, I might. But
At least 3.
At least 3. So it's one of those things where everyone and their mother just either has access to Ghost Walk or all Pathfinder, and it's just when you have something like the Hellraker, it just oh, good God,
Well,
so annoying.
the thing with the Hellraker, that is just like the way it does its, quote unquote Pathfinder is like, what's your threat range? It's 13 inches. Can I impact it in any way? No.
Well, I meant
Well, I
for
think what
our
Riker
models,
is talking about is the aura around it once it pops
all
up.
rough terrain.
It's all rough terrain. So it's like, cool, I can blow my Pathfinder card to get 1 heavy on it, and then I've maybe a third killed it because I get like 4 attacks total.
I forgot about that.
It's rough.
It's got like 4 special rules
Yeah.
that nothing else in the game has
Yeah.
that are very unique.
Let me spend my careful recon on this unit of Marauders to charge it and get Carapace grenade to death.
And just die before they do anything.
Awesome. So now I have to careful recon, force barrier, fury strength, stir the blood, and I might kill it. Awesome.
You know what the Hellraker reminds me of a little bit is, and this might be a weird analogy, but the guard tower. All right, so hear me out, right? So the guard tower, you have to invest a heavy in it. You can't charge it because it's not a model, even though little models are living inside of it. And then once you destroy the guard tower, it is removed and your heavy is just sitting out there for the rest of the other army to charge you and kill you. Like that's been my Hellraker experience where I will kill it, but it's so freaking cheap, right? Because it's Crix. Why wouldn't it be? 25 points. Yeah, so cheap these Crix. And I get it's not a big offensive platform. It seems more like of a defensive colossal for me. But it's like,
have you seen it under Sub-Zero with Gangfighter?
Not there yet.
And Siding Touch?
But okay, yeah, so Sub-Zero, right? So one of the last games I played at the Steamroller we were at a couple weeks ago, I killed a Hellraker, and then what's all behind it? A bunch of like stupid thralls that hit me for at like Mat 9, 11, Power 16. That sucks. That feels bad. Like that's how I feel. So I have to.
Sustained attack.
Oh yes,
yeah. I don't understand this. It's Mat 6, but it's like sustained attack. So boost once maybe if you want to, or just cast Carnage.
I'm a 6. I'm an 8 because there's a guy in my area code. I'm 10 because of Carnage. Sustained. Okay.
Yeah, I just my experience with it is it's a 25 point big thing I have to I don't want to say overinvest into, but I have to. It can't survive more than one turn, and then the rest of these thralls kill the rest of my army that moved in to take out this 25 point colossal.
We also end up, and it's just compounding the already necrofactorium problem I keep running into. Is I'm just like, why is the debuff faction have some of the best buffs in the game?
Well, I think Brad Park said it best on the Arcane Precision interview he did, which is a great series. I'm really glad that they're doing that army deep dive. And it's like Crix in this edition went from a debuff faction to a straight buff faction.
Yeah.
And it's...
Yeah, I mean, going back to the Hellraker, a lot of the times of games I've watched, the Hellraker is played overly aggressively. It goes and kills a heavy and trades down, but everything behind the Hellraker is just waiting to kill your entire army because the Hellraker is what delivers everything else because you have to put so much into it to try and remove it after it's being played so aggressively. And the other compounding issue is that everything in Crix kills kind of everything. There's no real stat profile they don't kill very well.
Yeah.
Correct. I think it's very interesting just because malefactors are already point for point one of the most efficient warjacks in the game for what they're doing. The problem is that for the most part, Crix is actually really bad at shooting, at least boostable guns. So you have your corner cases where you have like light spikers or more Nebra. They get a lot of work done. And there's some guns in like Nikane, like her own with the Hellfires and her own gun, stuff like that. What the Hellraker brings to the table is a concept that is super spooky of I have this 25-inch or whatever it is spray that you can't interact with. It's going to happen. So do you play too cautiously and you back up and you respect this? Because now as Crix, I get to eat up all this board space. And if you don't, then I'm going to get a boosted spray onto something that you don't want me to. So it's this new kind of approach where we're seeing kind of what's the BS that you're doing with the Hellraker. Is it Death Ward? Is it D-Cell? Is it I'm Sepsira and I exist? God, I hate that caster so much. Um, boggled boggles my mind that she is not in every pairing.
It's
I
22, by
understand
the way.
Kaizo's is exceptional. She is better. Um,
I share that opinion. I still think she's their best
I
caster,
100%
and I was
understand that
very
there will be
surprised to not
games that you
see
play
much of her
Kaithos
at WTC.
where you do nothing and win the game. I get it. Totally. Sub-Zero, you do have to do things. I'm sorry, guys. But
Yeah,
every game I played with Sub-Zero, I was like, this is ridiculous. And like, very typically, the only other thing I can think of is when you're taking the Hellraker, I am surprised that I haven't seen it more with Mortnubber. But I know that Mortnubber's kind of in not a super popular caster right now. But yeah, just being able to explode with a POW 17 on everything and then make attacks just feels silly. The Threshing Maw is a melee
Oh, does
damage roll.
synergy affect the explosion?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
Oh,
Correct.
dear Lord.
It doesn't. It can't build synergy,
and then it
but it
just
doesn't
pops up
get
with POW
synergy.
22s. Before we've done anything that Crix already does. So God, I can't wait for January. Anyways, but yeah, so a lot of exciting things. I think that the Morozov is really cool. Hellraker is interesting, and we don't have to play against 3 to 4 malefactors anymore, which is pretty rad because I auto Grievous on POW 18 is a little excessive. Maybe.
I liked seeing the Malefactor. I didn't like how cheap they
Yes.
were, but I liked how they
And that was always
got
kind of the
chunked
thing is that they
with
have only like
their
28
13, 18
boxes or
stat
something
line.
like that. And when we look at the Hellraker, again, very similar, just 2 of them, the problem is void plates. So now your efficiency is just plummeting. The big thing you need to look out for at home is, are they double void plate or 1? Because of being able to interact with that at least. The drag is really scary though, so it's danged if you do, danged if you don't.
I think 1 and 1. Yeah.
I almost feel like 1 void
1.
plate is better than 2.
I also think that.
Just because, like, there are things that might start in 6 inches of you, and then you like, right? They have to enter it.
Yeah.
It's not a.
I mean, additive activation movement can kind of get you before.
Yeah, if you avenging force in, and all of a sudden it's like, I get my whole activation. Isn't this crazy?
Yeah.
Right.
I get to keep my. I don't get to fear for no reason.
Yeah, it's a lot harder to do if that thing only has a 3-inch aura around it, so you kind of are more guaranteed to get the effect.
Oh, yeah. So, I am going to see the Bevs in a week, and that's exciting. And I can't wait to see everybody at the event. I think it's going to be a great time. And yeah, was there anything else you guys wanted to talk about?
First and foremost, thank you again for inviting us on and chatting.
Absolutely.
Look forward to hanging out with everybody next week. We're super excited. It's our first time going. So we're so stoked. One thing, once WTC does, that's been occupying a lot of our time. So we're looking forward to getting back and creating content for the channel again.
Same.
And let's see, Susquehanna Scuffle will be back. And we are in the early stages of scheduling our Winter Argus Invitational, which is our Secret Santa Steamroller that we're hoping that we can get scheduled at Top Deck sometime in November, December timeframe. But yeah, it'll be fun to ease up on the gas, play some different things, different casters. I'm excited to dig into the Frozen and Forgotten, maybe play some Grimkin. But yeah, that's what we're doing.
Like I said, we're like a 50-50 on if the Orgos army doesn't just get thrown away in Europe.
Oh,
so,
you have your big. You got your
back
big
with
box of Kador. You can start digging
Yes.
into.
I have larger, heavier models to play.
But safe travels to
Oh,
everybody making it out, and thank you for everybody for all the feedback, the games, the help, the practice. It's been great. So yeah, I'm super excited.
Before we go, I just want to mention, I know before we talked about, there's a couple, WTC analysis casts out there right now. The two I listened to that are both really cool and managed to be different in their analysis is Blightbringers and the Booker broadcast. They came at it from different directions, and they're both very data heavy. That if that's what you're into, go listen to them.
Sweet. All right. Well, thank you guys very much for joining us as always. And this has been Battle True.
Trad-driven, battle-driven, battle-driven. Bye.
Yeah.